Let's say standard controller equals account. And the title can be account name, let's say. All right. Now, if I want to bring in, so far what we have done, we have been calling the fields one by one on this page, right? In case I don't want to call a field, instead I want to call the entire details of a record. Instead of calling a field, what I want to do here is I just want to call the complete details of a record on the page. Fine. So in that case, what do we do? So in that case, what we'll have to do is we just have to use a component. So let's say if I want to call all the details of a record, details means all the fields, then it's it will be difficult for me to type in every field and all that. So there is another component which is called apex detail. This detail component will help you bring the complete details of the record for which you supply the ID. So now I just use this component apex detail. If I go to any of the records, do you see this? Just using small component apex detail brings in all the details of this record, right? So in case you're designing a page where you want to display all the details, so you don't have to call it field by field, you can just use this thing, right? If you just want to call a few fields, 3 4 fields, like the way we did in our last example, then call them by fields. Otherwise, just use this component, apex detail component. All right. Now for this apex detail component, you would see that it comes up with the related lists. These related lists are here, right? What is a related list? List of child records. We have seen this in page layout also, right? Now it comes along with the related list. In case I want the details only, not the related list, if you just want the details of the record, not the related list, then all that you have to do is say related list equals false. Save it. So there's an attribute on the detail component which is called related list. You just have to make that false. That's it. Now there are no related list on this page. Okay. Okay. This detail component comes along with this title also. You see the title at the top. Okay. If you don't want to see this title also, there's another attribute on the related list which says title. You just have to make it false. By default, the title is true. If you make it false, the title will also not be displayed. Right? So these are just one or two things here and there. Like if you don't want to see the related list, if you don't want to see the title, you can remove them. And you can just have the details of the record. Okay, in case you want to see the related list, just go and remove the related list attribute from here. Default it's true. If I remove it from here, I will again be able to see the related lists. Clear? Simple stuff. All right. Now the next thing that we are going to do here is Okay. The next thing that we're going to do is bring in the related lists one by one. In case I just want one of the related lists to appear here, I said related list equals false. All the related list cases, opportunities, contacts, everything has been removed from the page. I want only the contacts to be displayed. Then what do I do? Then you have an option of using another component. Let me use it this way. Apex page. Let me use a few page block sections here. Put this inside this section. Okay. So I've created a section. I'll call it title section. Okay, so I've created one section. The first one is for the title, and I've created that. Do you notice a small thing? The moment I put it in the section, it has just come to half of the page. The other half of the page is not being utilized. You notice this? So primarily, what we have to do here is the reason for that is the page block section by default has two columns. All right. So there's a simple logic to this. By default, our page block section has two columns, column 1, column 2, right? Now, when it has two columns, then what happens? The first component which you put inside the page block section comes into the first column. So, page detail is the first component that we are using. It has come into the first column. So that is the reason why this side is blank. Okay. If you just want this component to cover the entire area, then you just have to go and make changes to number of columns on the page block section. So in page block section there is an attribute called columns. You can just make it 1 and save it. Is that it? So this is how it is. So that's about our Apex detail component, right? So I've created a page block section for the detail component. Now I want more sections for the related list. So let me just go and create one more section. Let's say contacts. Now under this section I just want to display the contacts related to this account, the selected account. So for that we have to use another component which is called Apex related list. Okay, and for this related list there is an attribute called list, which you have to put the list name in, save it. Same problem, columns equals 1. Okay. Now this section is only this section only consists the related list. Which related list? Contacts. Got it? If you want one more section for opportunities, please bring that in. Apex page block section. Apex related list. List equals opportunities. I want one more section for cases. Related list for cases. List equals cases. Second, opportunities, number of columns 1. So if you just have one component to be displayed inside a page block section, please make sure that you are making number of columns equals 1. All right. You can increase the number of columns also if you have multiple things to be displayed parallelly. Then you can make it 3, 4, 5, whatever you want. Right here, I just have to display one thing inside this, so I'm making the number of columns equals 1. See, now I have a section for details. I have another section for contacts, one more section for opportunities, and for cases. All right. Okay. So now we have designed this page, and you see how easy it is. Just by using a few components, you have designed a page which looks very, very professional. Has got a complete look and feel of the Salesforce default pages, and it was very easy for us to design it, right? So developing user interfaces or pages in Salesforce using Visualforce is never going to be a difficult thing. It's a simple stuff, right? Just that you understand, what is required and how it is required, you can do that, right? So you have to understand the business requirement side. You don't have to spend too much of time, understanding that, okay, fine, how do I control the code and how do I control the back end look and feel of the page and all that stuff. That is not that's something which is not required, right? Okay. Now let's talk about a scenario. Let's say this is the page I've designed. All right. My company wanted me to, design different sections for the related lists. All right. And this is the kind of a page that I've come out with. Details, then the contacts, then the opportunities, and then the cases. All right. Now what has happened is, let's say the company says that this page has become very long. Okay. It requires a lot of navigation, scrolling down and all that stuff. And let's say my end users are not comfortable doing that. It can be, a reason, right? Let's say under each related list I have 10 to 15 records. Right now there are 2 3, so you can easily, navigate or scroll down a little and see this. Let's say if there are 15 records per related list, under each related list there are 15 records or 20 records, then what do you do? If I have 15, 20 records under each related list, and if I have 5 or 7 related lists, so this page will become really very long, right? End users will not be very comfortable using this. Okay. So in that case, my client comes to me and says that, hey, you know what, this page is very long. It's very difficult for us to access the data. All right. Still, even now, if you have to scroll down and you have to search for some contact or something, it will become a little difficult, you know. So in that case, what we can do is we can create the same thing using tabs. Right now, I've created this using sections. So I'll show you how to create tabs in Salesforce. We'll take the same example, details and the related list with the tabs. All right. So very easy creating tabs in Salesforce. I'll just come to that part. Give me a moment. Okay. So let's go to this. One minute. Yep. Hope you guys can see my screen. All right. So we will create the tabs this time for displaying the different related lists. Let me go with this Apex page block. Related list with tabs. Okay. So for creating tabs, first thing that you have to do is you have to create a tab panel. All right. So there's a component called Apex tab panel. First of all, we'll have to create the tab panel, and after that we can create tabs inside that tab panel. All right. So first thing that we have to do is create a tab panel. Tab panel is like this. You see this panel on which all these tabs are sitting. So tab panel will simply create a panel for you where you can put the tabs. All right. And now inside this tab panel, you have to create your tabs. Okay, so when I'm putting tab, I'll have to give it a label that will be like what text gets displayed on the tab. That can be details, can be my account name, save it, and you will see how your tab has got created. See, this is a tab that got created. It does not show any label because I have not yet supplied the ID, so it's not able to show the account name. Let me make it details, then it will show you the label also. Yeah. So this is my tab number 1. The same way I will create another tabs. Label, let's say this is contacts. Okay, so I have another tab called contacts. If I save it, details and contacts, right? Now all that we have to do is we have to put content within this tab. So what you want to display inside the tab, that needs to put within this. You started the tab, you're closing the tab. Inside this, you just put what you need to display. So it can be Apex detail, related list equals false, and title is equals false. Okay, so under the detail tab, I want to display the details of the record. Fine. Let me take the account ID and put it here. Sorry, it should be ID. Alright. So under the detail tab, I can see the details. Okay, I've used the detail component inside this. Under contacts, I want to see the related list contacts, right? So all that I have to do is bring in that data. So for the contacts tab, I need to put a component Apex related list, right? Same way, whatever we did in our previous example for the sections, the same thing we are doing. Just that there I was putting all those inside page block sections. Now I'm putting these inside tabs. That's it. No difference in the code as such. Just that instead of sections, I'm using tabs this time. Okay. Fix tab label opportunities fix related list full opportunities fix. Right. So this is my page for the tab. These are the tabs. If you want to increase, like these tabs are a little small, so if you want to just increase the label width, you can do that. Let's say I want to make the label width is 200. That's fine. Here should be account dot name. I will put it here. Label width equals 200, and here as well. That's it. So here is a quick look onto the code. What we have done, we have started with a page block just for the sake of getting a page block, and then I created uh, a tab panel, and under the tab panel I've created 4 tabs: tab 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's it. And inside each tab, I have defined what I actually want to display inside the tab. And for the tab, I have defined label and label width for each tab. That's it. That's the code, nothing else. And your Visualforce page with the tabs is ready. Click on contacts, it will show you contacts. Click on opportunities, you see opportunities. Click on cases, you see cases, right? So in case your end user is not willing to, scroll, you see, you can yourself make it out that if you are given a page like that, which is very long and which has a lot of data, you as an end user will also face a lot of difficulty, accessing data that is scrolling down and trying to search for something. Now it's more, organized. You click on something and you just get to see the contacts, and it's easy for you. Even if there are 20 contacts under an account, you will not have a difficulty, right? Easy for you to quickly find out things. Got it? So that's there. Now there's one problem still there which needs to be addressed. The moment I click on a particular tab, you see it takes a bit of time and the entire page gets reloaded. If you notice that, if I click on this, the complete page gets refreshed and it takes time for moving from one tab to the other tab, right? Now because I have opened each tab once, that is the reason why it is still doing it faster. But if you do it for the first time, then it's gonna take a bit of time to load that. Bit of time will mean, just a second, or just 1 second, but that 1 second is also very long, right? Which we don't want to actually put. So what we can do is we will use Ajax concept here. Okay, Ajax is basically partial refresh of the page. Now what is happening? The moment I click on a tab, try and understand the logic so that you can work with that. What is happening when I click on a tab? The entire page gets reloaded again. Got it? So when you switch from one tab to the other tab, full page gets reloaded. Okay. Now that's something which is not required, because I just want to reload this section. The rest of my page is same, right? That is not changing. So if I click on this, I expect only this particular section, the tab section, to get refreshed or reloaded, because the changes are to be made here. Other stuff is actually same, so there is no point the entire page gets reloaded, right? So for that, what we have to do, we have to just make a small change here, and that is the concept of Ajax. You would see that some websites, are fast in nature, and some of the websites are very slow. The complete page starts getting reloaded and stuff like that. The reason is they have not used Ajax properly. Ajax is partial refresh of the page, or partial reload of the page. So it should not every time completely reload the page, because then it takes a lot of time. So performance gets a hit. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I would just okay. just use another attribute on the tab panel which is called switch type, and you have to say switch type equals Ajax. Okay, if you mention this one attribute here, it will convert the switch type into Ajax, and this time it's going to be partial refresh. See, the complete page does not get reloaded. If you notice here, you will get to find it's a smooth change from one tab to the other tab. So you are actually not wasting any time whatsoever into the entire load of the page and stuff like that. Clear? Please let me know if there is any question or doubt here. Alright. So this is how you can create a nice page with for navigation through the related list or some different sections. Sections can be anything. I've used the example of related list, but it can be anything, right? And you notice one thing, that standard controller for this page is what? Account, right? So if we were talking, if you go back to what we were discussing in our last session, that if I connect a page to an object, I will be able to access data from that object only. Now if you see, I am able to access contacts, opportunities, cases also on this page, right? So if it's a standard controller from account, it should only show me accounts, right? I am able to access contacts, opportunities, and cases, but through account only. All right. So you cannot bring in a contact directly here. You got that? So that is the problem with the standard controller page. I cannot go and access any other object directly. However, through that account, if it's a related list, if it's a child record of the account, I can definitely do that. So if you see that in the standard page also, account details are there, and another account details you have the related contacts and opportunities. So the same thing can be done on the standard controller as well. Clear? Please let me know if there is a question on this. Any doubts? You're okay? All right, great. So we we have now created a few pages using the standard controller. All right. Now the next example that we're going to do is, we have just done. All right. So now let's create a page where we can enter the data from our side. So far, whatever examples we have done, we have just displayed the data, right? Bringing in the data on my page and displaying it, right? What if I want to create a few fields which are editable? Got it? So now what I want to do here is, I want to have fields which can be edited. Got it? So for creating editable pages or for creating editable fields, there are few ways we can go about that. Right? Can you just give me 1 minute? 1 minute, please. All right. So I want the data to be editable, right? Whatever details we are displaying on the page, I want that data to be editable. All right. So all that we have to do is we just have to go to this salesforce.com. Okay, first of all, let me create a page, or let me go to any page that I have created so far. V3 is the one that we created. Okay, let me create a new one. Let me create a different one. So this is another page that we just created. Now let me just put a standard controller account here, and I would say let me just use a detail component here, not using anything else, just a detail component without any related list. Related list equals false, no title, title equals false. That's it. Right. Should bring me the details. So here is the ID. So here is the ID. Yeah. Now I want to be able to edit the data on this page, right? So far, whatever we have been doing, we have just been displaying the data on the page, but I also want to be able to edit the data on the page. So my end user should be able to make changes, like wants to change the annual revenue, we should be able to change it. All right. So for that, we have a very simple option. We just need to go ahead and put an attribute on the detail component. For the detail component that we're using here, we just have to put an attribute which is called inline edit. Yeah. By default, it's false. You have to make it true. Inline edit equals true. That is what you have to say. So you use a detail component, inline edit equals true. Now you see, the moment you take your mouse here, it gives you an option of editing it. double click, change it whatever you want. Customer priority, change it, high priority. All right, address you want to change the address. Ownership you want to change from public, make it a private. Save it. Number of locations, make it 8. Save. Got it? So this is the best and the simplest and the easiest way of being able to modify or change the data or update the data on the page, right? Inline edit. So you don't have to do anything. You just have to say that okay, fine, inline edit equals true. But this inline edit true, this attribute is available under the detail component. So if you're using detail component, then you work like this. But if I am not using a detail component, I'm just displaying the data of a few fields, then what do I do? The way we were displaying data of a few fields. Yesterday we did an example that 3-4 fields data I'm displaying, right? So if I go back to that example, if I take this example, then I am just displaying the data of this, I'm just displaying the data. I do not have any option of editing anything here, right? All right, so in this case your inline edit thing will not work because that works with the detail component. In this case it's not gonna work. In this case we have another option. What we can do is create another page. Standard controller equals account. Let me put a page block. Title I say editable data fields. Okay, so just don't display the data, make them as editable fields. So for that you need another component which is called input field. In that input field you have an attribute called value where you have to define which field you want to display from that account. Okay, so here I have put everything inside input field. Now the moment you are using an input field component, this component always needs to appear within an Apex form component. All right, so that's a rule. So there are a few components which always need to appear under Apex form component, like input field, a button, a link, that sort of things, right? Wherever the end user has got to do something. So that's fine. Make sure that you put an Apex form component starting and Apex form component ending here. That's it. Line breaks have to be put. Apex page block section. Okay, so the moment you have put it inside a page block section, then you don't need these line breaks. Why? Because I have told it that it's just one column, right? So page block section, I've controlled the number of columns, so it will not show you two fields on the same row. It's gonna display it only under one column, and it shows things. It shows data to you with the labels automatically. So it's always good if you're putting input field kind of a thing or output field kind of a thing. Always put it inside a page block section because it comes up with those default formatting. See, looks a lot more neat and clean. So that is how it is, right? And all the data or all the data fields rather appear in their own data types. So if it's a drop down, it will appear as a drop down. If it is a calendar or a date, it will come as a date field there, right? So that's a good thing about this. Now let me take the ID of the record and put it here. Question mark ID equals yes. Here. So that is how it is. Now all the fields are editable. So if you want to make it edge communications limited here, you can do that. Alright. So we have just seen how do we bring in the editable fields here on this page. We will talk about actions. How do we make sure that all these changes, whatever we are making here, get saved. So there are different ways of saving the data. So we'll talk about those actions and the components for performing those save operations and other operations in our next session. Fine. So let's keep it till here for today. Please let me know if anyone has a question or doubt here.